Okay, so part 3 of the fancy Fourier transform filter. So where we are now is we want to add some of the accoutrements that contribute to the user interface. And there's a couple of buttons here that don't do anything, and so but I want to put them in because they might prove useful in the future. And that, for example, is the filter type, and that toggles the filter type here between low pass and band pass. Okay, and then there's the invert button here that will invert the filter. This is a low pass. That will invert it so that it's a high pass. And then we're going to put a spin bar here to adjust the frequency of the cutoff. So in order to facilitate this, we can go back and forth between this workbook and then the completed one here, and we can look at what's missing. So we have these two buttons here, and I think what we may need to put some names in here. So for example, that cell is called invert. That's not named. And then this cell is called cutoff. And then this cell is called cell function value. So we are going to need to name this guy invert, name this guy cutoff, and name this guy cell function value. So first off, let's name this guy. Oh, it's already named invert. Good. That guy's named cutoff, and that guy is named cell FN. This is not actually the right name. Let me get the right name. Cell underscore FN underscore value. So let me change this name here. Cell underscore FN underscore value there. Okay, now I'm going to go to the name manager under formulas, and I'm going to take out cell FN as a name. So there's cell FN value, and there's cell FN. I'm going to delete this guy here. Okay, great. Okay, so why don't I go ahead and put in the spin bar to set the frequency here. So we do that by going through Developer, Insert, there's a spin button, a spin bar is what I used to call it. And that guy goes right here, I think. There we go. Put that in. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to format it. And where you format it is where you select the cell link. So I'm going to set the cell link to C31 there. That's the cutoff cell. Okay. And there we go. So that's going to go from 0 to 3000. Probably the highest we ever want to go is like 250. Say 250 there, and there we go. So it defaults to 0, but we can click it up a bit there. Now we can run the IFFT and see how that looks. That looks much better. Okay. Oh, so now we have a little problem here. We've got cell Fn is kind of messed up here. I got it. So this guy, cell underscore Fn underscore value there. That's what we want. Okay. Just double click here in the corner. That'll copy him down. That's all better. Save it again. Now let's put in our invert button. I'm gonna insert a button here, which says it's actually going to be connected to a function called inverted, and we're going to actually import that function into this workbook. Okay, so first let's get the button functioning here. Call that invert filter there, and that should invert the filter here, even though it's calling the code from a different workbook. It's active. This is the active worksheet, so that works. Okay, now let's put in this button here. Insert button here. Okay, and that guy is going to be filter select. Okay, and we will call it maybe select filter type. Okay, got low pass. Oops. So we'll have to debug that guy. So there's one there called filter type value that it's not finding, so I think this guy should be called filter type. Did I get that right? Probably not, huh? Filter select. Okay. Let's edit that macro. Just all lowercase filter underscore type value. Stop the macro. Now it's actually going to let me change the name there. Go to the name manager here and see what that looks like now. See if there's actually two names. No, there's just this guy here. So it appears to be case insensitive, so let's see how this guy works. Yeah. So this cycles between band pass and low pass. And this will invert the function. And this will change the cutoff frequency. can run the IFFT, see how it looks. Looks beautiful. Now lastly, we want to put in a selection box here to select what type of function we want. And that is going to look like, oops, it's actually going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think these are called radio buttons. So let's try to put in some radio buttons here. So actually I'm going to put them in here. So we're going to go Developer, Insert, Radio button. One. Then we're going to do them in order. 2. 3. 4. Put in the last one here. Insert radio button. Number 4. Right here. Okay. Now I'm going to see if there's some alignment tools here, maybe in design mode. Okay, we may have to go to Format, Align, Align Left. Now, Align, Distribute vertically. That's probably good enough. Okay. Now we can format them, make them gray. Let's see here. Maybe not that dark. And make them a sort of a green color there. There we go. We're kind of right-clicking on those guys to select them. You know what I can do? Well, I think I'm going to leave it here. So, let's name this guy. Let's edit the text there. I think that's how we do it. And we're going to name that guy got them named, and let's see now. Now, the choice of the radio button should affect cell FN value there. So let's go over to the other workbook and see what these radio buttons were connected to. Let's look at the macro they're assigned to. Option button something to click. I don't think so. I think that was filter select. Was it? Maybe they are not connected. Okay, so the way this is done, by formatting the control and setting the cell link, like that. Okay. So, see here, this guy should also be linked to the same cell there. Okay, great. So all we have to do is go into our workbook here, and link it. So I'm going to go to Format, Cell Link, that guy. Okay, that guy. Format it and link it to the same cell. Okay, I have a feeling that they link to the same cell automatically. There we go. Brilliant. Okay. Alright, and that is actually all I want you to do with this workbook. So play around with it a little bit. See if you can understand how it works. So for example, now we're set to noisy Gaussians here. If all we do is we increase the frequency like that, then when we rerun the IFT, you see now both of them have oscillations. So, of course, this one just has the low frequency oscillation, whereas the green one has both the low and high frequency. And similarly, and you can also invert it, and then invert the filter. So there's the original, and there's the filtered function letting only the high frequencies pass there. And you can invert that baby again. Run the IFT. And everything is beautiful here. Okay. Enjoy, and I will see you in class.